Okay, 2 years ago, we were asked to transition all of our courses to online, to using Zoom. And so, serendipitously, the redesign that I implemented was really quite successful with students in this class of 60 non-science major students. All of the words in this title are important. Equitability, transformative engagement of science-phobic students. I had evidence that they were really, many of the students were afraid of science, and that changed. I gave ended up with over 130 quizzes. I'll show how to do that. Teacher easy. It's teacher easy, so don't leave until you hear me out on this. Student easy to succeed. From their own feedback, they let me know. The part of teacher easy is that these are auto-graded, fill-in-the-blank quizzes. They complement exams or can replace, and then I've adapted them to the classroom. So these are verbatim, actually screenshots from the students that I'm going to show you this before, because some people say, well, 130 quizzes, students will never go for that. They actually tell me that they like the non-stressful quizzes because they were open notes, and they were right after at the end of a lecture and at the beginning of the next one. And so the daily quizzes, they tell me, kept me accountable, kept me being attentive. There's another 30 videos or so based on videos, all of this on introductory biology of life. And so they really like not having to memorize. Okay, it takes away anxiety. And then there was evidence of this science phobia from so many of my students. Probably 3/4 are Hispanic kids from Sacramento area high schools that don't have the background that so many of us teachers have, of having had a family that taught us how to really trained us in these things, and they didn't have a background. Their high schools didn't give them the prep, and so they would tell me, I've really changed. Okay, this is part of this transformation as part of the Teaching Institute that we have that I did at Sac State. This was a foundational topic of threshold concepts and transformative experience, and so it was transformative for many of them. All right, so this is a typical Canvas gradebook, or this is about a fifth of my Canvas gradebook at the end of the semester, showing all of the quizzes. It goes on, and I end up with 130 of these. So the equitability part of the equation is from the ability of students to fail in the first 15 or 20 of these quizzes, and they can catch up. And I've seen that happen. The performance is usually just poor habits of note-taking, not joining on time, not getting to class on time. And so the other thing about this method is that it takes attendance, because the auto grade, their scores go directly into the Canvas gradebook. So this is what a typical quiz looks like. On my Canvas page, there is a video on how to do this. It's a 3-minute video on how to do it in 2 minutes, and then there's an extended video that gives more detail. So I do one quiz at the beginning of class, and then another quiz at the end of the lecture, and then the same material again. similar quiz at the beginning of the next class. And so this is what a typical quiz looks like. You have to be really clear on these answers if they're fill in the blank. So I give hints here as to that the answer starts with a letter like M, and I show how this is done. I give about 4 minutes for each quiz, and the students have to finish within that time. There are some settings that you need to know about also that you can look at. The students are required to take notes on the underlying material, and then when I create a quiz, I simply copy the text from one of my PowerPoints, and then I paste it in, and then I choose the words that I want to be blank, and the students have to put that in. And so they end up with this is what it looks like after they submit their quiz. I can allow misspelling on some. In this case here, fecal oral route of disease, or I can not allow. Okay, so they have to have the exact acronym here, MRSA, MRSA. And so implementation in the classroom has worked well. I use it in the classroom for the large lecture hall. The problem is these students they have this little tiny 1 square foot of space to put their computer and their notes. I have taken it, and some students have taken these quizzes using the Canvas app, and it works. So that would also work. And so finally, in the classroom itself, not like this one in Tanzania, where actually I visited an elementary school, many elementary schools that looked like this. What I would do in a course where exams are required, I would use this method of the daily quizzes for about 1/3 of the grade, and then the other 2/3 would be from midterms and final exam for the testing grade. And so it has worked well in the classroom.
So I think whether we like it or not, we're stuck with these learning management systems like Canvas. It is, I think, inevitable that it's going to be a big, a part of the future of our teaching, especially as class sizes get larger and our teaching workloads or teaching and research get heavier, and students come in with more and more apathy, basically. And so I think it's going to be part of every department to hire, when they hire, to make one of the criteria for hiring fluency and expertise in Canvas or whatever learning management system is being used. And I think students are going to have to learn to be fluent in the learning management systems like Canvas, starting in elementary school, 6th grade, junior high school. And so for those who are haven't really learned it, and you have another 10 years left, I think it's probably a good idea to start learning it. Just get in there and do it. I have shown how you can use the Canvas system of auto-grading and quizzes to improve student engagement and equitability. And so as we face this problem of increased student apathy and then we need these tools. We will be needing these tools.